Clash of Clans podcast, special episode number 2. Clash of Clans for the fans in the stands. We're back. See, I don't have that snazzy like intro like Boneyard does or anything.
Yep.
So, people are going to be missing that. Maybe I can have him phone in a message or something. So, we are doing another special episode. I am here with Boots Electric. Boots in the streets, electric in the sheets.
That's me. Good to be here.
Yeah. Who was our clan leader in Minnesota Nice, and then also was on the podcast a while ago, talking about all things Clash of Clans, special guest.
Yep.
So what's new? Okay, before we start, I mentioned on the podcast we recorded yesterday about your status that talked about being shit on by a bird at lunch, and you were taking the bar exam yesterday.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Can you tell the story? Because I have to hear it.
It was day one of the bar exam. It's a 2-day exam, and you have a morning session, a lunch break, afternoon session. And it was the first day I got done with the first part, which is the first session. The first 3 hours is probably the easiest to go through. And I went out for lunch, and I was just trying to take a relaxing break. And I ate a sandwich, and I logged on to my Clash of Clans, I'm sure, whatever, and was farting around online and doing stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I've got my phone in my hand, and you just hear what sounds like a water balloon just hit the ground.
Oh, my God.
And I looked around, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And it smelled a little weird. And then I looked, and there's like mud in my hand.
Oh, yeah, mud.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't smell like mud.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. After I put
shit
it all
in the
together,
hand is better than 2 in the bush, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I looked around. I didn't see a bird, but then there were 2 guys next to me. And the guy's like, what the heck was that? And I just looked around. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you don't want the answer to that.
You got crop dusted.
Yeah, and one of the guys was this skinny little Asian guy, and he looks at me, and you could see him like he had shit literally on himself and on his skin and stuff too. And he started to gag. He's like, oh. And so I zipped up my backpack and grabbed the rest of my shit and my shit.
Yeah.
and went into the bathroom and washed up. It was on my hat, on my shirt, my backpack, and my bare skin.
Oh.
And it hit me and 2 other guys and all over the place. So I don't know, the bird had some tainted yogurt or some sort of stomach ache, I think.
Damn tourists over there, like feeding it like French fries and.
But everybody says the same thing. That's very good luck. Well, it doesn't smell like good luck.
Yeah. And who says it's good luck? I mean,
apparently that's in Asian culture was one of the things that I was told is that it's good luck to get crapped on.
So you also learned a lot at the bar exam too.
Yeah, it was an experience that covered many topics.
That's awesome. So, so you've been busy, and you've been working on it and studying, I guess, for this test. But you have been now the leader of Minnesota Nice since you were on the podcast. So, what's it been like?
It's been pretty laid back. I mean, not much has changed, I don't think, in our clan. I think our clan is pretty self-sufficient, and it doesn't take a lot of policing. And that's the only thing I've done is, I've been active in booting people and just trying to make sure we've got an active clan base and member base or whatever. And if I see somebody, it's nice now with the
leader chat.
Well, the leader chat and the counters are really key with that too. Because I remember when mine was leader before that, you couldn't, like, the counters weren't there, and you'd be like, well, I don't think this guy's been there. Like, it looks like
has anybody seen this person?
Like, there's a lot of tombstones, and he's got a lot of trees growing and shit on his base.
Yeah.
So maybe quit. And now you can see, oh, okay, this guy literally has done nothing for over
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Well, and it's nice to, and it's funny too, because I guess in a lot of ways, if people are just coming in and they're just like starting to listen to the podcast and
Mhm.
stuff, like thinking about how the game used to be versus, how it is now. But I love the troop counter, not only the what was it, just given and then received.
Yep, yeah,
I
they
think
just
that
added the
helps a
receive.
lot.
And yeah, and the attacks won and lost is now on the overall leaderboard. Besides, like you can only see your own on like the league page.
Yeah.
If you look at the top players in the world or whatever, the top 200, that number's on there now too. Which
Oh,
I'm
really?
guessing within our clan, I would assume that number is going to get to the clan thing as well.
Where
So that we
you're
could
at
like,
overall?
yeah, where you could see like it'll say Boots Electric has done this many attacks, where I can see that in my own league page, but nobody else can see my league page in the clan.
Oh. Yeah, that would be really nice.
I'm guessing that would come just because they've done it for the top 200 part. I don't know why they won't do it for everybody else.
Well, it almost seems like Supercell's been listening to the podcast because so many of the things, well, and I guess it's because everybody brings it up, but things that we want to see, or like people have like chimed in on the blog and stuff. It's like, it seems like they're actually like doing the stuff that's like, the replay. And can you share it on Facebook or something?
The replays?
Yeah.
No, you can share them on the clan chat.
Yeah, but that would be the next step to be like.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've just downloaded. I know it's really difficult. Apple hates having screen capture videos.
Yeah.
For devices for whatever reason, and those things are usually like somehow people can sneak them through once in a while in the App Store, and they'll get yanked right away. And I just got one because on Gizmodo or whatever they had a headline. If you want a screen capture application, there's one in the App Store right now. It's probably going to go away in the next day. And I went and downloaded it for $2 or whatever. And now I have an app where I can do screen cap video on my iPad. Yeah. And then you can do that to YouTube or Facebook or whatever and share it that way.
Can you just imagine? It's like people who coach high school football or, football or sports teams or whatever. It's like you could just sit back on your couch and replay all of your battles from the day and go on, man, I really screwed up on that part right there. Like, okay, so offense, here's what we need to be doing. It's like, I don't know. And it'd be like a bunch of Clash of Clan nerds like us, like, hey, you guys want to get together on a Friday night and replay our battles from the week? I need some pointers, and all that stuff. Just like home movies. I don't know. So you're an awesome leader. Actually, I'm not brown nosing or anything, but you're in there a lot. You do those kind of updates, and I think it's stayed pretty clean in there, and it seems like people are really active. I kind of was checked out for a few days. I kind of needed to unplug. I was coming in and getting my resources, but doing that and trying to donate just so I make sure that people know that I'm still around. Yeah. Like, look at all this foliage, all around here. But yeah, I'm back and kind of in the swing of things.
Yeah.
Deb, like I said yesterday on the podcast, she's on her way to level 10, my queen.
Nice, solid. What's your king level at? Is he at 10 or 9, 8?
He's at 9 or 10. Actually, I can pull it up on my iPad.
Nice. I think mine just finished level 8. I hadn't leveled my king up in forever. My queen's still level 1. I haven't even worked on her, but since I've got these level 5 drills, I've been... I started on my level 2 golems, actually, a few weeks.
You did, huh?
There's 3 days left on those.
Okay, so we kind of talked about it last night, but have you had any success with using golems?
And it's going to be funny that I'm upgrading, but I haven't really used them outside of about 2 or 3 times. And I've gotten, I think, 2 or 3 castle golems now. Because I've got the big castle that holds 30. Okay. And I've gotten a couple of them. I think I got one from Ed, and then I got one from Hansel today.
I just, I think you'd have to take an army of basically, I think you'd have to take an army most over half golem, and then I don't even know if you could take that many.
Yeah, well,
But a ton of bombers, because those damn things run into those walls, and it's like,
yeah, the golems, yeah, it takes them like 15 years to get through a wall.
yeah. So if you send it in and there's a wall there that hasn't been busted through, I actually haven't even seen them do anything like interesting,
Hmm.
because they've always been stuck at walls.
Yep.
So
The way to use
jump spell. What, a jump spell? I don't know. I don't think that carries them over, does it?
Yes, it does. The jump spell changed not with this update, but the previous update, like the June one.
Okay.
That used to have to level up the jump spell to get it to pick up P.E.K.K.A.s or anything like any bigger stuff, like maybe the king. But they changed that in June. Now the jump spell works for any troop at all, and it's 20 seconds is level 1, and the only thing that level 2 does is doubles the time of the spell to 40
So
seconds.
have you used jump spells?
I used it once or twice. I think it's really difficult to use because it's tough to tell where people are going to go unless you can get a perfect line and you know exactly what your troops are going to do. It's difficult to use. I don't know. It's expensive, and I would just rather use a heal spell. I don't know. I mean, that's just with my strategy. I use heal spells well, and
Okay.
I like using them.
Yeah,
and
see, I've been
for
sticking on my rage spells. I don't know if I'll keep doing that, but I mean, it seems to work. But you know what? I think with the heal spell, I'm accurate about 90% of the time. But when I use a rage spell, I fuck it up about 60% of the time. So sometimes I get it just right, and you know, the rage spell works really good, and then the other times they go the other way, because a damn barbarian down the row broke through on this one little thing, and it's going, oh, look, here's my. So they walk out of there. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, that's what'll be nice with being able to share the replays is I know there's a handful of high level guys in our clan that use rage spells regularly.
Yeah.
And I like seeing them share their stuff so that I can see how they use it and see it used properly. Because against me, total, I mean, out of however many hundreds or thousands of attacks I've had on me since I started playing this in December, I think I've seen the rage spell used properly against me maybe 2 times.
Really? Do you think it has to do with your makeup or your camp, or is it just in general?
I think it's just people don't use it right. People don't lead it in. They'll throw it down, and half the spell will be behind their troops.
Yep, I've done that.
Where getting it laid right, I've only seen it done twice for the people to get it, and it's literally just a sliver of the rage spell is on the outside of the wall, and they get their giants to go right into that sliver, bust through the wall, and then go inside into the rage spell. Yeah. And that's the best way to get it used, but getting that perfect placement, I don't think is super easy.
No, and I have
and if you put it too far away, then
I've prematurely cast some spells in the wrong places, because I think I'm like, you know, the heat of the battle starts and you're all excited, and then it's like, and then you go, oh, just a little bit farther, and
Yep. Yeah. It would have been more satisfying. I had a really good raid the other night that could have been way better, and I missed a spell. I had one left in the hopper when I got finished with it, and once I watched the replay, I was like, oh man, if I would have thrown a spell down right there, it would have completely changed the entire raid. But.
Well, and I have been, you know, I've been going for gold because shit.
Well, that's all there is left.
Yeah.
That's really all that matters.
And it's daunting to even think about. And so I'm like, you know, I just can't. I think, okay, some of the cheapest things are like about 3 million gold, which is a lot of time, and, you know, in raiding and stuff. And so I think what I just have to do is focus on like finding more enjoyment in the attacks, you know, and like really going like strategy wise, because I'll drive myself insane going, okay, only 3 more million. And then there's like you've got like 4 builders sleeping, and you're going, you know, that mentality of like when you're coming up of like keeping things going and everything. And then now it's like, okay, now is it switching to strategy more? Is it switching to, you know, I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, one way to tie up your builders too is to do some of the more really long builds, like your Teslas, doing those to whatever level. I mean, if you're all the way leveled up on those or going to level 7, like that's a 2-week upgrade for only 3.5 million, and that'll tie up your builders for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at now. It's like everything I think is, I've got a builder free up in 12 hours. And then once that one gets going, it'll be 4 days before my next builder's free.
Okay. Well, that's nice. You know,
Which is, yeah, it's good and bad. But I mean, I'll have,
and I'm like,
at the time, a
I
builder free
was
stuff.
telling Sean yesterday, I said, yeah, I feel guilty when I see builders like sleeping. Now I think and like I told him, I think I could have got away with 4. I think there would have been a time where it was really pinch tight, but I think now it would be fine. But I guess it's a trade-off.
Yeah. Well, if you look, and I mean, I've admitted this before, I've read way too much of the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Having 4 builders, the 5th builder, if you are upgrading every single troop in the lab all the way through it and getting every single one all the way, a 5th builder doesn't make a difference until Town Hall 9.
Okay.
It takes you longer to upgrade your troops through Town Hall 8 than it does to build everything with 4 builders.
Okay. So, yeah, that makes
so
sense.
Having that 5th builder doesn't make a difference.
I think at that one point, it was like I splurged and got it because I wanted to get things fast. But I think like end run, so I would say, if you're thinking about a Town Hall or builder, a 5th builder, it would be good right now, but it's just going to make you feel guilty later on when he's laying around sleeping all the time.
Yeah.
So, so what are you using for troops these days?
The troops, since I've got my drills all the way up to level 6, I stopped using Dark Elixir troops altogether, which is a coincidence. It's funny that I would get done with that and I quit using it. But
what are you using it for then?
I'm using it I did one upgrade on Barbarian King, but that was after I started to upgrade the golems. I've done, I think, 1 level on my Mr. T's. And then the way I'm going to do this as I upgrade everything else is I'm going to flip-flop between regular elixir upgrades and dark elixir upgrades.
Dark liquor.
And
welcome to the Clash Clans podcast.
So then I figure it's 10 days for each of those upgrades. So if you use just the math to do it, like you'll get 4 million elixir out of the drills and mine the pumps or whatever during that 10 days while you're upgrading the dark elixir troop. You'll almost be all the way there to get your guy upgrade without even doing anything. So if you just flip-flop back and forth between the dark and regulars, then you should, there's not much to do. You can just keep upgrading your troops that way back and forth.
Yeah.
And you'll use it. You won't max out your levels, which
where's your Hog Rider? I mean, is he at?
They're level 2, I think.
Do you use them?
No. I don't use anything that I'm upgrading now. I don't use. I upgrade. The only thing that I use that I haven't upgraded is the archers, and that'll be the last thing I upgrade at this Town Hall level. Once I'm done and I max out my elixir, I'll spend it on the archers just to spend it.
You're at 9.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, right now the only thing that I even have available to upgrade are archers, giants, balloons, level 4.
You don't have your giants?
I never use them.
You don't?
Maybe 5 my entire time ever playing the game.
Okay, so you go in your troop. Tell me what your attack is.
My troops right now is 8 bombers, and then it's whatever I do 3 barracks of barbarians and 1 barrack of archers. Like right now, it's almost 100 of each right now, plus 8 bombers. So it's usually more like 150 barbarians, and then whatever that would be, like 35 or 40 archers, and then 8 or 10 bombers.
Okay, so you see a camp, a village, whatever. We would just rename everything here at WBSMT Radio. You see a village and you're about to go in. How do you attack? I mean, do you? Because I looked at. I'm sorry, but I'll kind of give a follow up just to. I watched a replay of somebody who attacked me, and they were really smart about it. And they came in here, and they were doing a little bit more strategy stuff. They used a bunch of different troops, but do you just kind of do full frontal attack, full on assault, or do you like kind of target certain things? And I mean, like, what's your kind of priority?
It depends on what the camp looks like. If it's an upgraded camp and they have a queen and a king and all that stuff, then I will drop one troop to get the king or queen on notice or whatever, where they get alerted, and then they'll chase anything on the whole screen.
Yeah.
And then I will drop a troop at the farthest thing away that I can that is unprotected by a defense. Like if they've got a builder hut in the corner or something like that that's out of a defense range, and then the guy will just be slamming on a building and wait for the other people to get over there, and then I'll circle them with archers and a couple barbarians and take out their king and queen. And the same thing with their castle. If I can get at the castle to get their castle troops deployed, then I will lead their castle troops out.
Do you drop a troop right in front of the castle every time?
I try to, yeah.
Yeah. I think you were saying that on that podcast that you were on before, because, I was talking about it yesterday also. Keep referring to but I was saying that, I hate it when that dragon, and it was the same conversation we had before, really, but I can't tell you how many times I forget to do that.
Yep.
And
it'll happen too. I mean, especially if you're doing more than one raid at a time or anything. Like if you're playing for like an hour or something, sometimes you'll just zone out and forget.
Well, I actually just do it. I have to. I'll confess. I only do it when it's an accident. So I do about once an hour, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I mean, I'm like, okay, so. So so then the troops come out of there. What do you send in for the like?
I'll just pull them away. Yeah, I mean, usually I'll just if I can get them out in the open, then I'll just use barbarians. And if I have something with splash damage, I prefer that. But I mean, that's rarely going to happen unless I have dragons or wizards or the Valkyries. I guess those have splash damage too. But
have you upgraded your Valkyries at all?
No, I don't even know anybody that's ever used them.
Yeah. Well, it's telling on attacks, when you get attacked by certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that more people don't use minions. I don't get attacked by minions much.
Yeah, me either. I think overall I've gotten attacked by minions maybe a half a dozen times where it was a substantial army of minions.
And I fucking love them. And
yeah, I think they're awesome. I think
the magic number is 20.
Yeah.
Because if you send 40 in and the balloons trick you, you lose like just as many, if not. But those 20 you can usually get that from the dark liquor elixir that you would, that cost to build them.
Yeah.
And train them. And so, I think I would say probably 60-70% of the time I do better because I have those minions to either clean up or like just target something really fast, even if they're going to be destroyed, quick. I mean, send them in like as little bombers because the fives can take things down.
Yeah, I definitely rarely 100% people when I'm not using minions. When I'm like to get 100% on a base, like I don't level them that often when I'm using just my swarm tactics when it's just
your swarm was like 40, right?
When I use the minions with it, a lot of the time I'll get a lot more where I completely level the base because those minions are so powerful and fast. They'll just run through and level half the base, and then you've got another 120 troops you can use to go in and demolish the rest of everything else.
Yeah,
and those minions take out half of the defense.
So did you just finish your level 6 drill upgrade?
It
must have been
it's been going since about probably the July 10th. I mean, if you want an actual date.
Okay.
So
you put it on your calendar. There'll be a.
Well, I know on my, I don't know. They were almost finished on July 1st. I think I started my one to level 8 on July 1st, and then one to level 5 on July 1st. So then it was like, however the math works out from there.
So okay. So what have you been? Did you just do like one king upgrade since then, or what have you been?
Yep. Yeah, I've only done one king upgrade in a really long time.
But I mean, with all that extra dark elixir, don't you notice a huge difference?
it's huge how much I've had. But like I said, I did the Golem upgrade. That was
Oh,
60,000.
Jesus Christ. That
And
how was the tax around that time?
fine, actually. I didn't. I with how my base is set up now, I've never gotten attacked for more than. I've never had anybody even get to my storage yet, to be honest. And I was carrying over 40,000 dark elixir for probably 6 or 7 days, and I never even had anybody get to my storage.
So check out Boots Electric's camp or his village. You can find him Minnesota Nice. Boots Electric. I'm just looking to see if I have your camp here. I don't. I thought I did, but oh yeah, there it is. I haven't changed mine in so long, but it's working
Yeah,
all
this
right.
one I did about. I got my Town Hall 9, like the beginning of June. It's been like 2 months, and it took me a little while to find the new setup that I wanted to do. I kind of dinked around with a few things, and this was a modification on one that I found that I liked. I mean, it's way different than what I actually found, but the setup I got from one that I saw,
That's cool.
and
Yeah,
and
it's kind
changed
of in
it
this
to
flower, not flower, but kind of what would you even call it? Like a
I don't know. There's a
diamond in the
square with
middle
a
with
yeah,
a kind of diamond tip all around. But yeah, because it's so separate that you'd have to take on each individual part.
yeah. Well, and then and then that ring around the middle, it's got all the you can't. I mean,
The
everybody else, the
Teslas
one that
and
can't see it. Yeah, that's filled with Teslas and giant bombs and the balloons, and then it's also got the mortars and expos in there. So
yeah.
once they break into that, usually their troops will start circling that
Well, and it
instead of
also
trying to go through.
yeah,
I've had
because
one person like actually break the black walls and have
so
somebody try to get there, but they didn't even make it.
well, and what looks like with your camp is that you would have to basically attack with a considerable amount of resources at any corner to get a quarter of whatever it is.
Yep.
And then the nearest things to it is the center, which is like the deadliest. I mean, this is like an Indiana Jones like movie waiting to happen, like like Clash of
It's fun
Clans
to
in the
watch.
four
Like
corners of Boots Electric, you
know,
know.
I get excited. I never get attacked by people where it's a strong army. I get like maybe once a week where I get a real attack, which one of them was last night where it wasn't, and still wasn't even that amazing of an attack, but it was all level 6 troops. But I mean, they didn't get shit. They got a total of 200,000 loot and 200 dark elixir, but that was just out of my drills. And they used, I think it was like 80 some thousand for troops and 60,000 for spells.
Oh wow.
So their
Yeah.
net that they made was like 80, not like 60,000. And when it was a revenge though, and I'll overspend in revenges all the time.
You know, do you do
Just
the
to,
revenges still? I don't even.
yeah.
I never
Sometimes
look.
it depends. I mean, I'll snoop at them and see, and usually I only do them if I can find a shitload of dark elixir, and that's usually when I'll just go balls deep for somebody where I'll spend everything to go just smash somebody's head in and get 2,000 dark elixir.
God, I should. I know, and I know we've talked about this before, but I just never look at the because it's usually like. I mean, I guess I'm set up as a farming thing with the town hall outside, but I
Yep.
think even if you're going for trophies, I think that's the best way to do it because then they attack you. You get, you know, the -5, and then you can go spend 3 hours, or you can spend an hour, do a couple raids, and like way make up for more than that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, if you have your town hall inside, I did that. This setup, that centerpiece actually will hold a town hall in there. If I take the dark elixir storage out, I can shift stuff around and it'll fit my hall in there. And I did that for a weekend.
And I bet you just got hammered
Overnight, one
on.
night, I mean, I was winning a shitload of trophies because nobody could even 40% me.
Okay.
And but what they would do is they would get like 30% and get to 4 of my total storages out of the 8, and they would get like 150,000 loot. and then they would die, and then I wouldn't get a shield, and then somebody else would come in and raid me for 150,000 and get 30%, and then that would happen 6 times in a night. And
You know what?
lose
If I was
800,000.
gonna raid you, you know what I would do is I would basically, if I could see you on replay, I would go in and I'd make a minion army
Mhm.
full on, and then go in from 3 of the corners, because you've got all that stuff in the, by the time the air defenses start shooting at you.
Yep.
So if you're out there and you're listening, and you run up against Boots Electric, or he's attacked you, that's how you might want to raid him back.
But yeah, that would be a good way to go at it. I mean, otherwise, I don't know. I would just, if I saw mine, I would just skip it.
Okay.
It wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. I'd be like, oh, God, isn't this supposed to be a game?
Yeah.
So, now, and I have to ask this because I was wondering about this today. Do you throw you're going to attack a wall or whatever with you've got archers and barbs. Do you send your barbs in first and then throw your archers right behind them?
Yeah. The barbs I use as a meat shield, kind of in the same way a lot of people will use their giants. And you'll get those guys, send in a few to get the defenses triggered onto them, and then you'll send stuff in behind that.
Yeah, because I've been really bad at that with the archers, and because I like to send in my barbs like kind of last, and in little bunches, because I think you really have to watch out that you're not getting bottlenecked somewhere.
Yep.
Because that's just when it's the worst thing in the world to watch while like the bomb falls and then everybody walks away from what they're doing, and I'm sitting here going, get your asses back to work, like, come on now, there's another one on its way. This isn't,
they forgot.
this shit isn't destroying itself here,
Oh, let me go get this builder hut.
Yeah. Jesus. So yeah, I think that's a trick too. But I need to remember to do that. Even just 1 or 2, it'll take like 2 or 3.
Yeah, another way to do that too, to distract those defenses, is just to circle the base with single troops. Like my nephew's in our clan, and that's a lot of what his strategy is.
Does he call you Uncle Boots?
No, but he does call me Boots. He thinks it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's his strategy for a lot of it. Is he'll just circle the bases and with the troops, and then it gets like the splash damage is firing at single troops then instead of bunches, and then you can send in other stuff while all those things are distracted. And a lot of what your splash damage is doing is hitting single troops because the troops are so spread out.
And I suppose it would matter what it is you were taking in with it, because if you've only got 60 barbs and you do that, then where are you gonna? Because I like my giants, but that they don't stop for defense or for anything but defenses. So
yep. Yeah, like, or even they don't even stop for what, castle troops or like a barb, like with the Barb King or anything.
Yeah, the Barb King is sitting there fucking hammering him on the back with a goddamn knife, and I'm going, do I have to get the minions in here to help out? Because by that time it's either, I don't know what the level 1 king does to my archers sometimes. I think you must have to space them, like you were saying, like you drew them away and then did it around. I think maybe I'm putting them like too close together, but there's nothing that makes me more pissed off is when I see that king after my giants, and then I drop a rage spell hoping something would happen, and nothing's going down. I mean, it's like, can somebody get another weak troop in here? It's just, that's one of my frustrations. I could go on all day. Hey, I was talking about this. I asked Sean about this, but where are you at with walls? I know that you're going high up. You've got the black ones on the middle, and then it's all purple or blue, whatever. Is that purple or blue?
I usually call them purple.
Purple.
Some people call that color blue. I don't believe those people.
But then what do you call the other one? Pink?
Yeah.
Pink walls? Yeah, I suppose.
Blue, pink, purple. And this is purple, but it's like bluish purple. but
Yeah.
I like to call it purple. It's like Grimace from McDonald's.
Okay. Well, no, he was a lot less purple. You know, he wasn't like that icicle blue or, whatever. But anyway, so you've got that going on with your walls.
Yep. My plan is that they're at where they're at, and I won't do anything with the walls until everything's done.
Because that's what I was saying. I think at a certain point, walls stop being important. Right. They're important in ways because they sure intimidate the fuck out of me when I see somebody else's stuff. But
yeah, I don't like attacking all black walls.
Yeah. But if you have like kind of plans to be like, you know what, I'm going to attack high level people, or if you're looking for a certain, type of, attack that you want to go in. I mean, I think you could really, like, once you get past the black, I mean, because it's going to take the giants, going to take the barbs half the time that you're in the battle to get through the wall. So I think after that, it's kind of the points maybe a little moot.
Yeah, what's crazy though, but is the level 8 walls? That's the first black walls. Those are 3,000 hit points. The level 11 is the new ones, the like electric ones. Those are 7,000 hit points.
But what can get through that? The new troop is a dump truck?
You would use the jump spell, Hog Riders, or flying troops. I mean, that's the minions. You use the minions to get over and attack your splash damage stuff as much as you can with those and then go through. But I don't know, it's tough. The bombers can help out. I mean, I think it takes 2 bombers to get through anything that's higher than gold. Gold you can get through with 1 level 5 bomber.
I think the pink ones you can get through.
No, pink I'm pretty sure is 2.
2?
Pink, purple, and black all take 2 level 5 bombers, and then it takes 3 above. I think it's 3 once you get to level 9, 10, and then 11 I think it's 4. So in that sense, it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah. Okay, so what about the update? What have you thought? I mean, I knew the witch was coming. Yeah. Like I saw it on the Facebook page or whatever. But they're dropping them on us pretty fast. Like when I saw that, I thought, oh, we got at least another week. And then you'd said something, it's the witch. And then there she is. And right before this podcast, one of our clan mates, Nelson, right? It was Nelson.
Yep.
Posted a replay of somebody attacking him with the witch, and I'm in.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
So, can you kind of, I just saw that one thing. You probably know a little more than me. What does this witch do now?
I've just run off the wiki. I don't have it yet. I've got mine upgrading to level 5 Dark Barracks. Both mine are upgrading now. I'll have them like Monday or Tuesday. But it has regular damage. It uses whatever, and it has a distance attack, kind of like the wizards do. Except I think it has 2 more tiles of distance that it can go.
Okay.
So it can be even further back from the defenses. But what it does in the meantime is it does like a summon spell where it pulls up dead troops from the ground and sends.
So would you have to have it in the same area as where all your troops went?
No, it's just, and it's not even necessarily a particular troops that's pulling up out of the ground.
Okay.
Summons like skeletons that's what all they're called, is skeletons. And the skeletons that it pulls up have 25 damage per second and 45 hit points.
25 damage per second. Where are we sitting at with the other troops then? I'm pulling up my Clash of Clans right now, but
yeah, I can't. I don't know off the top of my head
how much do you know how much she costs?
To make?
Yeah.
Level 1 costs 250 dark elixir. Level 2 costs 350.
Oh, so she's cheaper than the golem.
Yep, but the problem with it is she's weak. 75 hit points for level 1 and 100 hit points for level 2.
But if you send her in, like, I bet if you send her in like the queen.
Yep, yeah, you send her in last.
Yeah.
Just
You know
like you would.
what I've been experimenting with. Okay, so I don't know which podcast this was on. I don't know if it was on 20 that got lost. Oh, that was a nightmare.
The lost episodes.
The lost episodes. I mean, there's probably 30 episodes of Clash of Clans. But what was I talking about?
Sending in the Archer Queen last?
No, I did a dare with Boneyard. No, not a dare, but I said I was going to try this tactic of using the jump spell and goblins.
Mm-hmm.
I did a whole goblin army and jump spell and made like 2,000 elixir. It was absolutely ridiculous.
And Boneyard claimed that he made some money doing that.
Yeah, he was saying like he kind of goes through, and I don't know what he's attacking, but I sent those things through, and well, some of them didn't obey, and then it was like just a nest for those mortars to hit.
Yep.
It was just like bam, 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 and I'm like, well, I was really excited about that, and it's like going to a bad fireworks display. You're like. Well, it's, hey, we're, all excited. And then there's like 2 go off and it's kind of pretty, but,
That's usually like when you get new troops and you bake up a new army of them and try them out on their level 1 and then you just get bummed out.
Yeah, level 1 of anything sucks, so it's like, ugh. But, I think that they need another drill for level 9. I think to really start doing
it would be nice to use the higher end troops, especially use the golems. I mean, especially once my plan is to get mine up to level 4, and then once I get there, I might try to do a trophy push, see if I can get up over 3,000 if I can.
You've done trophy pushes.
I got over 2,000 in June. Once I got my level 9 town hall, I went for it and I got up to 2,000 something. And
do you basically just went and attacked anything? You just went for trophies?
Yep. Yeah. I was just trying to get town halls, trying to get 50%, just trying to win trophies. And that was it. And that's when I had my town hall inside and it was okay. I mean, it's a different aspect of the game to play. And if I wasn't trying to upgrade everything, it would be more fun.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about resources and all that stuff.
That would make sense with kind of, changing up the game a little bit as you get higher up and not going so much for gold, but going for like decisive victory, and seeing how high you can climb it. I guess I didn't think about it. I'm so ingrained. It's been almost a year since, I've been playing, and it's like, it's almost ingrained. You're trying to, but at this point I go into battles and I'm like, the only thing I'm really going for is elixir for research. And I just started my wizard because I've been experimenting with him. That sounds nasty. But
experimenting with your wizard.
But sending 2 of him in at the end, they can do some damage as long as they don't get hit by splash damage stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's splash damage, or was that I can't remember what takes the bigger toll, but I think it's a splash damage.
Well, and it just depends on how you're sending stuff in. I mean, like the splash damage, the highest your mortars will get, I think, is about 55 damage per shot. And the wizard towers is about, I think, 42.
Okay.
Per shot.
But one of them was it was doing better for me if I was getting hit by. But that's the same with the queen. If you take her in at the right time, she'll walk out of there unscathed.
Yeah.
She's just sitting around.
Yeah. And a lot of times a new strategy I have to keep my queen and king intact is I'll use my heal spells on them.
Yep.
At the end.
Yep.
To build their health back up. Rather than have to pay for it with.
That was one of my pointers in episode 20. So thanks for bringing it up. I've been doing the exact same thing because it's a trade-off of gold versus time.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. And having that queen is super nice. And if you just throw a level 6 heal spell on her, and if there's not a defense, and even if there is one unit going on her, you'll still fill her health all the way right back up.
And
and it's super nice.
And I've been paying more attention to how much gold I'm getting versus if I'm going to use a spell. So if I get in there and I'm like, okay, I'm going for the elixir on this one, I might get a little bit more. I kind of watched my gold spending.
Yeah.
Like I could do really well on this raid even if I got half, but if I use like 2 rage spells, there's almost 100 grand gone, and you can only get up to the 200. So,
Yep. Yeah. I'm actually pretty stingy lately, or greedy. I don't know which one is the right word. Usually I don't attack unless it's a minimum of 500 total.
Really?
Like 500,000 is about the minimum that I'll go for. I'll look at sometimes I'll probably have to search 30 or 35 camps, I bet. And
I've been trying that, but usually I've been going for, if I can see something that has clear cut, I can get elixir. I'll go for that.
Yeah, or if that's still just out of experience and knowing what to look for. Sometimes I'll see a camp that's only 80 or 90,000, but if I can see it's easy, I'll just drop 30, 40, 50 troops or whatever it is. And if I've been looking for a while, I've already got all my new troops completely built. And I can go in and drop 50 troops, get that, lose whatever trophies, and then I can start searching again.
And I think that's a drawback to the way that I normally do stuff, which is I have my army that is OCD'd. Okay, I have to have 13 giants. I have to have 6 bombers, at least 55. I got all my stuff, but it would be a much better benefit to me, not only if I just, if you wait to get back, then that works. But, by the time I got back, I'd have like a whole different makeup of army that like doesn't make sense. And the next one, I'd have like 20 giants, and then, because I have them staggered, so they're all done about the same time.
Yep.
So that doesn't quite work, but you see somebody like that has all those pumps or mines full right outside, and you're just like, oh. But if I came back, it's just the way I do it. I should start changing that up. I'm experimenting with different stuff. So, but the level 6 bomber only comes with Town Hall 10, right?
Yeah, pretty lame. And they
get everything at Town Hall 10. They get everything.
Yeah.
They get new mines, new pumps.
They didn't change anything about the bomber. I was kind of bummed out. I thought they would maybe do some new graphics or give him some kind of graphic change in any way.
Yeah.
It looks
like an arsonist that has evolved his tactics.
Yeah, well, a new hat, something, I don't know.
Flamethrower
on him, new goggles.
Yeah.
Like get him some like Air Jordans or something. I don't know.
Well, that was nice about the Minion. That changed its look as it went along.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're pretty crazy now. So, all right. So, there's going to be tons more for us to talk about because it's like 2 nerds sit down and, you barely get started. But we, you listen to the podcast. We have been doing the take your piss or time to take a piss, got a piss segment. I don't know. I think it changes every week, but so we kind of talked a little bit beforehand. You have been in the throes of study hell and managing a clan from hell. I mean, everybody is just horrible.
But it eats up all my time.
Do you every time you see somebody named Jesus or God, don't you attack them?
And
I don't say that mean way, but I just feel like I just attacked God's village, or Jesus.
I usually do it as long as they have a little bit of loot, but if they don't have any loot, I just don't even bother.
Yeah, if they don't have loot, I don't stop, but I think, damn it, because I just think it's like.
I just wish I could drop one troop now and take a dump like on the lawn.
Can you imagine the add-ons you could put on this game?
Yeah.
Look, you come back and you've got there's a bunch of like cemetery or headstones or whatever, and then like somebody left a bear shit on your front step or something like that. Oh.
I would pay.
Good thing we don't work
millions
at
to go.
Supercell, because this game would go downhill fast.
I think the game would probably get way better.
Leave a shit on your neighbor's door.
Yep.
Only 3 gems. Okay, so we just kind of said you're in study hell. So any good YouTube, funny, anything like that? That's
I mean, I do watch a lot of YouTube videos. There are a handful of sites that I will peruse to find videos and funny stuff to watch. But one I watched today, which I would guess some people have heard of, but all you have to Google search is Crazy Rhubarb Lady.
Crazy
And
Rhubarb Lady.
It's a lady stealing rhubarb from her neighbor, like outside of her neighbor's fence along an alley, and it's 4 minutes long. And this lady is mental. She sounds like Ma Tortelli.
Who's Ma Tortelli?
From Goonies.
Oh.
Or Fratelli.
Fratelli.
Tortelli, okay. That's Cheers.
Do you remember that video where it's a classic? I think it started the viral revolution, actually. The girl that's jumping on the grapes and she falls off. She's on a morning show. Yeah. I can never get that out of my head.
But yeah, this lady's just going berserk. It's hard to even explain. You just have to Google Crazy Rhubarb Lady and hit videos, and that's what'll come up. That's the best one I've watched recently, but I mean, there's tons of them, and it gets to the point where I don't even know half of them.
Okay.
Or couldn't even remember. My brain is
yeah, but that's the one you remembered. That's the one you'd want to pass on.
That's the one I would pass on today, hands down. I think it's worth the watch.
I have 2 of them. Well, the Daft Hands video. Have you ever seen? This is an old one. I mean, people have had to have seen this. But this girl writes on her hands like all the words to the song and it's like the camera's from the top. It's called Daft Hands.
Yep, from Technologic, I think, right?
Yeah. Is that a music video? I thought it was just a fan video.
That's a fan video.
Yeah.
Well, that's the name of the song is Technologic by Daft Punk.
Yeah, and it's called Daft Hands, and it's okay. Get to 138. If you seem a little bored and you're not quite getting hit 138, and it turns into like the craziest fucking thing ever. I'm like, how did she do this? How much time did she spend? I mean, it was nuts. Do you know you remember it?
I saw it. I don't even know when that would have been. It would have been a while ago.
Okay. Well, now you know. I wrote down your YouTube video. So, and then there's 2 of them that I really like. One's called you got to be like kind of an animal lover, or at least like dogs or have had dogs or cats. Which I'm not a big cat person. Actually, I'm allergic, which frees me up a lot for people saying, "Oh, is it all right if cat thing?" No, I can't come over because I itch. But watch the dog one first and then the cat one. It's called Sad Dog Diary. And then it's called Sad Cat Diary. And it is some of the funniest shit ever because it looks like it's almost like it's one of those Sarah McLachlan videos, where it's like, okay, these poor animals. But It's like, Dear Diary, today human did this, and it's, he goes, like one of them it goes something like this. Dear Diary, today I've added a 4th circle on my round of pooping. The first circle is to make sure that I have to poop. And then the second circle, and it goes through and it's just like super funny. And then, yeah, it's just great. And then watch the cat. The cat one's really funny. But so if you watch the dog one first, you'll really like it. And then you go to the cat one and that's really funny. But then you'll appreciate the dog one still.
Okay. On the same note that with the cat and dog, I mean, this is the same style of video, I think, but I just saw this one in the past week. I don't know who did the actual videos, but the first one to come out was it was a guy asking 100 women to have sex with him, random girls in the street. And
Really?
he filmed asking 100 girls where he just walked up and was like, would you like to go have sex right now? And it ended horribly all the way across. 0 out of 100.
Yeah, you'd
He had
like
a
to
drink
see
thrown in his
100
face,
strikes out.
and he got 100 strikeouts. And then they did a counter to it and had a woman approaching strange men and asking them to go have sex with her. And I think it was close to 20% said yes.
Really?
Where she's just like, would you like to go have sex? They're like, what? Are you okay?
And
I live right over here. We can go right now. All right, I'm down.
60% would have walked 3 blocks, turned around, came back, and then had reconsidered if they would have adjusted the scope of their survey.
I think the best answer from one of the people was like, well, I won't go to your place, but we can go to my place.
Oh my God.
He didn't want to go into her.
What's it called?
Fucking weird lair. He just, let's see. I'll Google search right now and find it.
Share some of your guys' favorite YouTubes. Hey, guess what, everyone? If you haven't heard yet, we do have Twitter. So we can tweet, and you can tweet your pictures to us, and we can retweet them. Some battles. We saw some good ones this week. 1 million. Somebody got 1 million. Let me see who it was. I think it was Korg.
I think that's right. I remember that. My nephew is.
Are you on the tweet? Are you?
I'm on Twitter. I didn't know you guys were on there. I'll have to look it up and give you guys a follow on that to look that stuff up.
I'm still learning this whole thing. I feel like Boneyard. Let's see. Who was it that tweeted that? Or it might have been Matt. Oh yeah, it was Matt. That tweeted that. He sent a picture of, it was like 1 million, and I don't know if I've ever got over 1 million.
I haven't. I think 900 some is the most I've ever gotten. And I don't even know what the most Dark Elixir I've ever gotten. I think it's in the 2000s. I know there's a couple guys in our clan that I think have gotten over 3,000 a few times. But the cap on Dark Elixir is 2,000. That's the most you can steal from anybody.
That's the most you can steal?
Out of storage. And then you can take whatever out of their drills. You can take 75% of their drills.
Yeah, I got hammered with that a couple times.
Yeah.
Did you find that YouTube video?
Yep, the video, the title of it's just called, it's as simple as it sounds. The title is just called Asking Guys for Sex. And with that one, that's the people that do it, and there's a ton of them where they've got all kinds of different videos or whatever. And then the other one is just Asking Girls for Sex.
I mean, was he smooth? Like, did he try? Or did he just like go?
Not really. I mean, it was a little bit. I mean, he tried a little bit, and one of them, the girl gave him a maybe, but then he just pushed.
Was he attractive?
Like, well, I think he was a decent looking guy, but the chick they sent him was
wasn't
really
Bob
good
Newhart. I mean, like
no, he wasn't weird looking or anything. Like he had,
so they didn't think they were on candid camera,
right? Yeah, but a few people did say that. They're like, "Where's the camera?"
Really? So it's called asking a guy for sex.
Asking guys for sex.
Is that the girl one too?
That's I'll double check. I'm assuming that's what the other one is called. Yep, asking 100 girls for sex.
Okay, 100. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, YouTube videos. Now, next time we do an episode, I'm gonna have to think about it beforehand, because there's so many good ones that you want to share with people, but it's like you only share some nerd stuff with other nerds, and that's why I think that's why the tweeter is going to be good. But I shared a picture the other night to all the Twitter followers. You saw it on my Facebook page. If your girlfriend doesn't understand Star Wars puns, you're looking for love in Alderaan places.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, officially a dork. All right, well, we should wrap this up. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it was good to be here. Nice to catch up. And
yeah, and I'm really glad I heard about the bird shit story, because it has been running through my mind ever since I saw that you post that. So So we'll be back with some special episodes. Hopefully Boots will be here within the next week or so. I'm going to keep trying to crank out episodes as much as people want to be doing them. So here's how you contact us. If you are interested in doing an interview or you want to be on the podcast, send me a email to clashclanspodcast@gmail.com and just say, hey, I'd like to do it. Something you really want to talk about, we can do a short one. And also, you need to have Skype to be able to do it. That's just an easy way to record. So you can do that on an iPhone. You can do it, all that. So send me an email and we'll try to schedule a couple things throughout the week. We'll do as much as I can. The next few weeks without Boneyard, I guess you're just going to have to put up with me on the horn. In the meantime, this is special episode number 2 because they're special. Clash Clans Podcast at WBSMT Radio, 424-27-CLASH. We have some emails and we have some voicemails. 20, we lost a bunch of voicemails that I still have, and we'll get to them. Keep those comments coming in. Thanks for hanging in there during the crazy hiatus, but we're back for the fans in the stands.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.